Welcome back to my side of the internet. Thank you so much for being here. Today I want to talk about the new moon in Cancer that's happening on July 9th at 9:17 p.m. Eastern Time at 18 degrees of Cancer and 1 minute. Please adjust for your time zone. So my film might be a little grainy because I chose to film on my computer. The last time I did this for the full moon in Cancer, my video kept shutting off because it was like too much time on the battery. So hopefully I can get through this in one shot and not be disrupted by technology. I really love tapping into the moon energy. I don't know if you know this, but I am a Reiki master teacher, and I also hold weekly moon circles. And I have 3 tiers available on Patreon, and you can choose your membership rate and how often you want to join. But I love tuning into the moon, the phases of the moon, and I've always been very connected to the moon since I was a little girl. I would literally be one of those little souls when I was a child who would be fascinated by the full moons, and I just noticed the energetic shifts during a full moon and a new moon phase, even though I didn't have the language for it at the time. And then when I got into spirituality and learning about astrology, I discovered that I have my North Node in Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. So I've been really working with Cancerian energy a lot for the past 2 years because my North Node is in Cancer. So I feel like I have a lot more to say about Cancerian energy this time around than I probably would have even 2 years ago. So I first want to talk about Cancer, and if you've been listening to astrology videos or podcasts, or you're into astrology as well, I feel like a lot of people know the characteristics of a Cancer. Cancer is a water sign. It is ruled by the moon, one of our luminaries, and it is a very intuitive and, dare I say, emotional sign. And I don't like using these words emotional because I feel like in pop culture and the zeitgeist and how we view emotional to be, somebody that cries a lot, somebody who gets overly reactive. But I see being emotional as somebody who's incredibly tapped into their emotional body, their intuition. And most of the time when I meet somebody who is a Cancer, either especially Cancer moons, are very empathic, very intuitive people. Now, Cancer is also, in the zodiacal signs, it is ruled by the crab. And I've just been observing, watching videos of how crabs maneuver, how they act. And crabs are very, dare I say, when they are on the defensive, when they're trying to protect themselves, they have their claws out and they move side to side and they try to suss out the situation. They have a very hard shell because their inner body is very mushy and very soft. If you've ever eaten a crab, I love crabs. It takes a lot of work to break the shell, but then once you get inside, it's very soft and tender, which is making me want crabs right now. So I really see as Cancers sometimes needing to protect their outer shell, their outer body, because they are so empathic, because they are so in tune with their emotional body. Now, when I talk about the emotional body, I also am a Kundalini yoga teacher, and we learned and we studied that we have 10 bodies basically, our physical one being just one of them. We have many, many different energetic bodies, and the emotional body is, I would say, at the 4D. It's the energetic level where it's not physical, but it's something that's felt through different realms, through different dimensions. So that is why it's so important for us as energetic beings to be very in touch with our emotions, because our emotions are just energy and they are just our guidance system of how we truly feel. And I think that just being in tune with them, not judging how you feel, not judging when you feel sad or depressed or angry, but being aware of your emotions and how you feel can give you an idea of where you are in your life. For example, if you are not happy in your relationship, if you are not happy in your current job or whatever you're doing, that's a signal for you that something is out of alignment. Something is not in tune with your being, your inner being. So you need to take action on that. You either need to change the circumstances or your perceptions. So our emotions are incredibly useful pieces of information. And during Cancer season, which I find very ironic that Cancer season is smack dab in the middle of summer when we're more out there, when we're more out in the world, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere where I live. But it is a very inward season. It's a very intuitive, yin receptive energy. So I would look at your chart, your natal chart, and I use tropical whole sign houses because it gives me a better idea of where these transits are happening, and look and see where 18 degrees of Cancer is in your natal chart. And it happens to be right on my North Node. So I feel very, very called to do this, to share and to really talk about the moon in this way. And again, like I mentioned, I have my North Node in Cancer, so I feel in this lifetime it's very important for me to express my emotions, to share my emotional body, to share any kind of wisdom that I might be getting from spirit, from my own life, my own past lives, and to bring it forth here to help you navigate through some of the rough waters of life, or even the positive waters of life. Also, this is the 7 month in numerology for July, and it's the 3 universal month. So how I got the 3 was the 7, which is July, plus 5, which is the universal 5-year, which breaks down to a 12, then breaks down to a 3. And the 3 is a very creative number. It's a very fertile number. And 7, being the month of July, is it's a very solitary number. It's a very masculine number. It's leaning in towards your higher wisdom. 7 is also the number of spirituality and having a more spiritual understanding of life. It's my life path number. So I really feel that during Cancer season, it's really important for you to check in. It's like a mid-year check-in of how you're feeling about your life, how it's going, how you feel about all the topics of Cancer, right? Like the home, the family, how you nurture yourself, how you feel replenished and nourished, and how you feel that you are moving through life from a heart-based place, from a truly aligned place, because emotions are just energy in motion. And I know you've probably heard this said 1,000 different ways from 1,000 different people, but truly tapping into your emotions and really asking yourself, is this something that I really want to do? Does this make me feel happy? Does this give me joy? And make your decisions based on that versus what makes you feel contracted and what makes you feel like just not going anywhere, feeling stuck, because the opposite sign of Cancer is Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn, which is all about structure and discipline. And Cancer's out here being all like, I feel all the feels, this feels good to me. And it's a beautiful energy to work through as we will step into Leo season at mid-month of July. And Leo is also all about the heart, but it's also all about what makes me feel like I'm gonna shine. How do I want to be the main character of my story? So during this time, this new moon in Cancer, it's a beautiful time to really check in to your emotional body. Maybe you're doing some family ancestral healing, because Cancer also rules the home and the family and our ancestors and our roots. And also maybe you're thinking about moving homes, or you're physical home, which is your body. The moon rules our body, but the moon also rules our subconscious mind, and maybe some of the things are shadow realms that we have not paid attention to. And you know that very quickly by what is reflected out into your outer realm. So again, this new moon is a beautiful new beginning. I love to set intentions, and I love to write in my journal and reflect on the last 6 months of this cycle, from the full moon in Cancer, which happened sometime in December of 2020. So I really love to use new moons because it's a dark moon, right? There's no light. Of a fertile yin receptive time to plant new seeds. And this can be in any area of your life where Cancer falls, or just in general, your life and how you want to bring forth something new into your life. Because again, this is a very fertile, very mothering energy. So I'm going to go through each of the houses, but based on your rising sign, and I'm going to do like I did with the full moon in Capricorn. I'm going to pull some tarot cards to get you some channeled messages. So here we go. We're going to start with Cancer rising. Hello, Cancer risings. If you don't know your birth time, you can go by your sun or your moon sign, but I like to use this rising sign system to see what area of your life this Cancer energy is starting a new cycle. So for Cancer risings, this is happening in your first house of self. The first house is all about I am. I am a mother. I am abundant. I am creative. Just really maybe doing those I am statements in front of a mirror, writing in your journal. This could also be affecting your physical body, because again, Cancer and the moon rule your body, but your subconscious mind. So really make sure to take care of your body. Cancer also rules the stomach and the chesticles. So if you're having any stomach issues, maybe ask yourself, what can I not digest energetically or physically? Really taking care of your physical body. So let me tap into your energies for Cancer risings. Spirit ancestors, angels and archangels, the higher selves of Cancer rising, please let me know what they need to know during this new moon in Cancer. A new beginning of your concept of yourself. Also, I don't know if you could hear it, but I'm playing ocean waves in the background. Maybe you're also being called to tap into the water element, maybe go by the ocean to do some healing. I find water to be incredibly energetically cleansing. Okay, so for you, we have 4 cards. I was just going to pick 4. And they're amazing. They're beautiful. Okay. So first off, I have the 10 of Pentacles. And the 10 of Pentacles is all about the legacy, family legacy, the legacy that you want to leave into this planet, and whatever that means to you. Not all of us are career-based. We want to just maybe work our legacy through being the best parents that we can possibly be. But whatever it is, I feel like your concept of yourself and your worthiness on yourself is going to really help you to manifest whatever your legacy that you want to leave on this planet is, which is followed by the 9 of Cups, which is literally like these 2 cards together is like a wish fulfilled. Whatever you've been wishing for is very much contingent on your concept of yourself and how you feel about yourself, which is basically what manifestation is all about. It's really your confidence in your own abilities and your ability to listen. Manifestation is an inside job. When you can radiate out instead of focusing on wanting and trying to get and trying to repel things that you want, because it's all about energy, right? Like attracts like. You have to resonate on the same vibration. So if you are manifesting a love of your life, your soulmate, or money or wealth or health, this is very much contingent of how you treat yourself and how you see yourself. But I mean, these two cards together is like right off the bat, I was like, damn. And then we have the Four of Swords with this little lamb. The Four of Swords is really, I think you're really going inward. Again, Cancerian energy is all about going in into your emotional body and asking yourself these really important questions that I feel as a Western modernized society, we don't do this enough. We are constantly focused on the masculine of doing, of getting, but really the trick to manifestation and the secrets of life is to be in the receptive mode. And then you have the king, the Father of Pentacles in this deck. And I actually love this deck. It's the Wild Unknown. I resonate so deeply with the animals that Kim Krans uses, because I find the stag to be so fucking sexy. Like, if I could find a counterpart with this kind of energy, this earth energy that's so stable, that is so nurturing, that is so earthbound, again, bringing things into the physical realm. But when I get this, when I'm feeling about this card with you, is feeling good and feeling stable and feeling nurtured in your own body. You are the Father of Pentacles in your life. You are this supreme, magical, mystical being. Please look up the folklore around stags, because the female deer is the receptive, feminine, earthbound animal spirit. And when this shows up, it's like you are taking charge. You are creating that container, that masculine container, so that the feminine can be receptive in receiving. Again, this is the receptive, like, I'm just going to focus on myself, go inward, to receiving your wish fulfilled, whatever this is. And it seems like you've been waiting for it for a minute, for a hot second. So I think this is amazing, Cancer rising. Amazing. Many new moon blessings to you. And if your ascendant, check your ascendant degree is happening on this new moon, you're getting a fucking glow up. That's amazing. I'm going to try not to use amazing too much in this reading. So now we're on to Leo, my lions. This is happening in your 12th house. So the 12th house is such an interesting spot, because Leos are, at least both the lower and the higher vibrations, the manifestations of what a Leo is very much, this is my time to shine, like very royal and very regal. There's something about being ruled by the sun that just makes you like shiny and glowy, and everyone wants to look at you, which is interesting because your 12th house is in Cancer. It's a water energy. So this new moon is really activating that part of you that is hidden, that is more psychic, that is more spiritual, that is more intuitive. And maybe this new moon is a new chance for you to know things, find out things about yourself that you have not seen before. Because again, new moons are dark. It's a dark moon. It's the place where we set new intentions with this yin receptivity energy. And because normally Leos are so out there, want to shine, very heart-based, that this is a time for you to really understand the realms in which you cannot see. So maybe you're getting more into like the occult or mysticism. The moon, which rules Cancer, is also about rituals. So maybe you're getting into like moon rituals, to activate that side of yourself. So let me call in your energies here. Spirit, angels, ancestors, please let me tap into the Leo rising collective. What do you want them to know for this new moon in Cancer? And we're heading into Leo season, so this is going to be a very important time for you to do any of that shadow work that's really going to help you reflect back to you what you want. Also, I should have mentioned that Mars and Venus are transiting your first house right now, which you're getting, you know, a lot more attraction and magnetism towards you, and you want to take actions in your dreams. And I find that the cards are perfect for what I'm about to say. So first we have the Mother of Wands, and this is your energy. So the Mother of Wands in the traditional tarot is the Queen of Wands. So it's Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. I consider myself to be in, you know, this energy because I'm a double fire sign. The Queen of Wands is somebody who's like fiery, passionate, creative, somebody who gets after what she wants. She does not hold back. And please use the pronouns as it fits. All bodies are welcome. I'm channeling energies, so the feminine. Somebody who is so sure and so confident in her, his, themselves. And this is you, Leo. This is what I was channeling. Somebody who maybe, okay, if you're a Leo that's not as maybe out there or as public, or maybe is a little shy, because there are some Leos who aren't, you know, as extroverted, but you show up in some way in your life with this kind of fiery energy. Then you have Judgment, which you're having some kind of spiritual aha moment, again with the 12th house. Something about this Cancerian water energy that maybe some of you are not as comfortable with. Remember that, take this as it resonates, because I'm only reading the house. I don't know your natal chart, but I feel that with this new moon in Cancer energy in your 12th house is really awakening a part of you. And then the Daughter of Pentacles, which is in traditional tarot, the Page of Pentacles. Maybe you want to learn something. Maybe you had this epiphany that you're into, again, like rituals. Maybe you're into moon rituals, or you want to learn how to manifest with the moon, or maybe you're into tarot, or you're into things that you weren't necessarily into maybe prior to even 2021, and you want to learn something about it. You want to learn how these things can help you show up in your everyday, day-to-day life. But again, the 12th house is a very ominous, it's traditionally ruled by Pisces. So it's something that was not before seen. And maybe you've been seeing it through this last cycle of this moon. So cool. Let me know if this resonates. Okay, now we have Virgo risings, and this is happening in your 11th house, this new moon Cancerian activation. And this is the house of friends, groups, communities. It's traditionally ruled by Aquarius, so humanitarianism, the collective. So the new moon being here in Cancer, maybe you want to have new friends. Maybe you feel compelled to meet new kinds of people, or you want to meet your soul family, because Cancer is all about home and family and nurturing. So maybe I'm getting this really strongly. Maybe you want to find your soul family, the family that really resonates with you on the level that you feel can get you without having to explain. Because Virgos are very detail oriented. Virgos are very focused. They are the ones that purify, let go. They are the editor, right? but Piscean energy is your opposite sign, but Cancerian energy is a little bit more emotion based. So maybe you're really tapping into like who from your friends groups do you want to like start new emotional connections with. Ooh. So I got these two cards out, but I didn't tap into your energies. So here we go. Spirit, angels, ancestors, please help me to tap into the energies of Virgo rising. Please help me to channel their energies. What do you want them to know for this new moon in Cancer? This is beautiful. First, we have the Ace of Swords, which is all about truth. Yeah, I'm feeling very much that you might have discovered who your true friends are and who is not. And you're trying to cut away what friend groups, what communities no longer serve you, because you're really tapping into the emotions and how you feel around these people. I love that Jim Rohn quote, you are the 5 people you surround yourself with. So just keep that in mind. And then we have the Daughter of Wands, which is like the Page of Wands in tarot. And this energy is really all about this new creative, like not creative, but this spark, this feeling of you want to have this intention of going about everything with truth, with authenticity, with wanting to cut through all the bullshit, which I feel like Virgos are really good at in general. And then we have the Father of Pentacles here, which in tarot is the King of Pentacles. Yeah, I think you want to build more long-lasting, authentic friendships with people who really are like head, mind. So my friends and I say head, heart, and crotch, but maybe leave out the crotch part for only your romantic counterparts. So you want to meet people who you want to uplift you, who when you tell them an idea, like I want to start this business, who are going to be like, amazing, like who can I connect you with? What can I do to help you? Like those are the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with. And I feel like you're definitely setting this intention in the new moon in Cancer. You want to meet your soul family. You want to build long-term relationships based on authenticity and truth. Because let me tell you, you don't want people bringing you down, projecting their own fears onto you, because that does not make your dreams come true. Thank you, Virgo rising. Now we're on to Libra risings, and the new moon in Cancer is happening in your 10th house of career, of your legacy. Okay, let me tap into your energies. Spirit, ancestors, angels and archangels, please help me to tap in to the energies of Libra risings. What do they need to know in this new moon in Cancer? Okay, the first thing that's coming into my mind is, are any of you healers, or are any of you counselors? That's what's coming through my head. It could be just for one of you, but the 10th house is the highest point of our chart. That is usually the point where it talks about our reputation, our career, our legacy. A lot of people I've been finding as I'm doing more and more readings don't resonate with that term career because it's very patriarchal. But whatever you personally want to do for the long term, because this is a house traditionally ruled by Capricorn, it's not just your job. It's something that really calls to you, it's your dharma, it's your purpose, it's something that whether you do, you know, tarot readings or you do a podcast like me, it doesn't matter, the same purpose is behind it. So I feel like this new moon in Cancer in your 10th house is like, okay, I want to set intentions for doing something that is more emotionally aligned to my highest purpose, my dharma. And being Libra risings in general, you have this magnetic quality about you because you are ruled by Venus. So I feel like a lot of you are super attractive, which is how you pull people in. But then how you help people is in an emotional connection way, in an empathic way. You can feel things about them that maybe they can't even feel, if that makes sense. Whoever you're helping. Okay. So for you, we have the Mother of Swords. So this is a feminine energy. I find it so interesting that, you know, Libras to me are, so both you and Taurus have a co-ruler of Venus, but Libra is the air sign. It's all about justice and balance. And this is very much your card. It's about moving forward with a sense of, I'm going to cut these things away that don't serve me anymore. Are some of you quitting your jobs and starting something different, something that's more emotionally aligned to you? Because I also have here the Two of Swords, which talks about being blocked by something, not being able to see. And maybe some of you are making that jump into a new career, but you can't see like where this is leading, or you don't know exactly what you want to do, but you know that what you're doing now is not aligned to you. And you're really, for the first time, tapping into your emotional body and your feelings about where you are and where you want to go. And because I also have the Wheel of Fortune. And I love this card in the Wheel of Fortune because there is a crescent moon here, which is all about your intuition. And there's an owl. The owl sees at nighttime. An owl is a nocturnal animal. It's a very psychic animal. And the Wheel of Fortune talks about fate, talks about like destiny and karma. And I really feel like whatever path you decide to your highest, for your highest good and the good of all involved, it is going to lead to this windfall, to you really being in alignment with what you're meant to do. If you can just get past this idea that everything needs to be sorted out now, because that's just not how life works. You take a risk based on your intuition, based on the dark of the moon, based on not necessarily what you can see, but on faith. I love this quote that says, I walk in faith, not by sight. And that's what this life is all about. We take risks, we take steps towards what we truly feel intuitively, to our highest path, our highest timeline, without necessarily knowing, right? Without necessarily knowing the road ahead. But I'm telling you, if you do this, if you cut away the things that no longer serve you, and I'm not advising anybody to just quit their job, but do it in the timeline that works for you. But it is destined. It is fate. It is fated. So if any of you were thinking about it, this is confirmation from spirit that it is fated and you're not wrong about your intuition. Thank you, Libra risings. Now we're on to Scorpio risings, which Scorpio risings, I feel like you're just the most magnetic, the most attractive people in the zodiac. It's so funny because I feel like Scorpios and Geminis get like and Capricorns get the worst reputations, but I find Scorpios to be so sexy and so magnetic. There's just some, especially if you're a rising sign and a moon, so magnetic and attractive. And this is happening in your 8th house. Oh no, your 9th house. And the 9th house is all about higher learning, spirituality. It's all about learning through travel, learning through cross cultures, different cultures. Maybe you're interested in learning a different language, or maybe you're interested in moving homes or moving across, the world, or maybe you're interested in learning about spirituality and the moon cycles. So this house is traditionally ruled by Sagittarius, which is the teacher, but also higher learning about something new. And being in Cancer, it's something that is obviously not in this material realm. It's mostly about, it's not necessarily a spiritual sign, but I only say that because you are a Scorpio rising, and Scorpio is ruled by the eagle and the phoenix. It's a very shamanic, mystic, occult sign. And so maybe in general, like without even having moon cycles, you are just interested in those topics. So maybe it's time to learn, enroll yourself in a class, enroll yourself in a tarot class, an astrology class. Maybe it's time to take that long journey that you've been wanting to do, wanting to go on. And I don't know, like where you are, maybe you can't because of restrictions. So maybe it's time to expand your horizons and either learn something new or go somewhere new in order for you to fully get to the next level where you want to go. But I feel like talking to a Scorpio rising, I don't need to say these things to you because you are the most investigative sign. You like to go deep and you like to understand things at their root meaning. Okay, so spirit, ancestors, angels and archangels, please help me to channel Scorpio risings. What do they need to know in this new moon in Cancer? All of the messages have been super positive, by the way. I really feel like this new moon is a new beginning because Cancer is also about, I don't know why, it's very fertile to me. Oh my goodness, you have so many cards. Oh. I'm going to keep them because I've been trying to just pull 3, but I feel like you were meant to hear these messages for a reason. So first we have the 3 of Cups, and this is like one of my favorite cards because it talks about reunion, it talks about celebration, and there's 3 crows here. So I don't know if 3, maybe you're seeing 333 or you're seeing crows, but that could be a significant animal sign. But this talks about celebration and reunion. Maybe you want to travel to see friends. Maybe you want to travel to reunite with somebody from your past, or maybe you've been talking to somebody and romantically or friendship wise that you just want to like explore what that relationship has to offer. And I say this because you have the Lovers. And the Lovers can also talk about Gemini energy. It doesn't need to be romantic love. It could just be a union of some kind. It could also talk about making a decision. But for me, for some reason, I'm definitely getting some romantic vibes here. And because in classical astrology, Mars is your ruler of, Scorpio, in modern astrology, you are ruled by Pluto, but Mars right now is in Leo, so which is going to be conjunct to Venus. So maybe you are feeling this attraction and this love towards somebody. And again, Scorpios are attractive, magnetic in general. And then we have the High Priestess, and I love to see the High Priestess in a moon reading because to me, this is all about the moon, right? Like, even though the Chariot in Tarot rules the moon and rules Cancer, this is the moon, literally. And the High Priestess is all about intuition, really understanding things at a very high level, but from your intuition and your inner wisdom. So maybe you just know that you're being guided to some areas of this world. Maybe you're being guided to some ley lines. Astrocartography is a thing, and that's one of the things that I taught in one of my moon circles, was how to go to certain places and work with the energies and the places based on your natal chart. And looking at your moon line might be helpful for you to gain more knowledge or intuition about yourself or your subconscious, or some maybe psychic powers or intuitive powers that you have. You also have the Page of Cups. Again, I look at these as within, so without, as above, so below. So whatever you're personally working through is reflected in your outer realm. So maybe you've all collectively, Scorpio risings, have done a lot of shadow work, and you've really been calling in your person, doing your own inner work, because the Page of Cups is somebody who has an offering, and it's the cup. So it's all about love. It's offering their cup to you. And maybe for some of you, if you're like, no, I'm with my person already, this does not resonate, maybe this is just a renewal of some kind of like loving energy, some kind of, yeah, you know, like during this new moon in Cancer, maybe you and your person are going to go on a trip together or renew your vows, because Sagittarius is also ruled by the loss, and it's another house of marriage, the 9th house. So maybe you're going to renew your vows. Let me know if this resonates. And then you have the Queen of Wands, which is all about taking action based on your like Kundalini energy or creative life force energy. So I really feel like this new moon in Cancer is, you're moving through this time with your intuition, you're taking action, you're maybe receiving, or maybe you are offering your cup to somebody else, and maybe you are taking that time to really shoot your shot. You know, maybe you said fuck it and I'm going to move to Tokyo, or I don't know why that came up. Maybe some of you were like, fuck this, I'm going to enroll in grad school or astrology school. I mean, you're Scorpio rising, so I feel you might be more interested in the occult than a traditional master's degree, but this is so exciting. And the fact that all of those cards came out just indicates that there's a lot offered to you during this new moon in Cancer. So thank you so much, Scorpios. Sagittarius risings. This is happening in your 8th house, and I'm a little biased because I'm a Sag rising, and this new moon in Cancer is happening in our 8th house of transformation, of death and rebirth, of renewal, of other people's resources. But to me, this really is like a renewal of, it's breaking free from whatever we felt held back from. Because I just know, being a Sagittarius rising, that this last couple of years when we had our nodal return, if you've had your nodal return, I had my nodal return in Cancer and Capricorn 3 years ago. And then, you know, we have Pluto in Capricorn in our 2nd house, and we've been having all this Capricornian energy activated in our 2nd house of worth. We've really been going through the ringer here. So I feel like this 8th house new moon in Cancer is really a renewal. It's breaking the chains of what has held us back. And this could come in the form of, you know, 8th house is so random to me because it is the house of Scorpio. So I learned it as being the house of taxes, of inheritance, of death and rebirth, of sex, magic. It's all of the areas of life where we don't necessarily talk about. They might be taboo, but that are in our lives. So like death, sex, and money. And I feel like whatever area of your life this is impacting, you're getting a renewal, you're getting a transformation, you're getting a rebirth, you're getting you're breaking free from the chains of what has held you back. And that's a very exciting thing. And I'm super excited for this new moon. I cannot tell you. Oh my God. All right. So Cancer rising, sorry, not Cancer rising, Sagittarius rising, spirit, angels and archangels, ancestors, what can you tell us about the new moon in Cancer? What messages do you have for us? Yeah, I'm seeing the death card in my head. So definitely like releasing a rebirth. Ooh, too many. What can you tell us, Sagittarius risings? One more card, please, Spirit. Okay, I love to see it. All right, my Sag risings. Oh my goodness, yes. Oh my God, my nose is itching, which I just found out. I noticed that I constantly itch my nose when I do these videos, and I just found out that that is a sign from Spirit. So, right on. First, we have the Five of Pentacles. And for some reason, I knew this was going to come out because this talks about being left out in the cold. This talks about poverty and feeling like you haven't not enough. And this talks about lack mentality. And if you've been listening to my podcast with my solo episode, I talk a lot about me healing my scarcity mindset, my belief in lack, because of all these transits that have been happening in the second and eighth house axis of worthiness and of money and of other people's resources, and how to reframe abundance and money and even like what money is. And this could just mean if you're not having personal finance issues, this could just mean your self-worth, because again, Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn in our second house of worthiness, of our belief in ourselves. But I really feel like this energy is ending its chapter because we have the Ten of Pentacles. Yay! The Ten of Pentacles is all about getting your fucking coin, getting your bag. It's legacy. It's enough money so that you can leave it behind for whoever is your, if you want to have children, or if you just want to spread it around in your community, if you want to share your abundance with others. It talks about like the ultimate level of achievement in terms of worthiness and wealth and abundance. And I love this because I feel like a lot of Sag risings that I've been talking to have been going through the same thing, which again, this is why I use the whole house system, is that we've really been working on what is true abundance. What does that truly mean? And what does it mean when we completely let go of our preconceived notions of what money is, of what abundance means, of how we even make money, our relationship to money? This is where the true healing comes, and a lot of it is through our self-worth work. And then we have the Empress, which I have to say is one of my favorite cards to see in a reading like this, because the Empress also has a crescent moon, and it's the 3, and it's ruled by Venus. And the Empress is all about creation. It's all about bringing forth in this, energetic realm to this physical realm. And I really feel like this new moon in Cancer, what I was saying was that it's a complete transformation, complete rebirth of where we were even last year, 2 years, 3 years ago, because we've been doing all of this self-worth work, of all this healing work, that now you are really manifesting and bringing forth the abundance that you truly deserve, that is in our birthright. And I love that Kim Kranz uses the picture of the tree with it looks like pink leaves, because pink to me is the heart chakra. And trees, for me, I've been connecting so much with tree energy, because you plant a seed and it's not going to grow into this beautiful big tree in like one day or even a year or even 2 years. It's something that you plant with the intention of love, and it takes many, many, many years to actually see the fruits of this tree. And I'm not saying that this is going to take years and years and years. What I'm saying is what you are building is going to last, ooh, wrong card, last for a really long time. It's a legacy. It's something that is forever lasting. And I truly believe that all of these transits really made us look into what's important, to let go of what's not important, what's not going to sustain the test of time, because the opposite sign of Cancer again is Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. It's about long term, and that's exciting. I'm so excited for my fellow Sag risings. Thank you so much. And now we are on Capricorn rising. This is happening in your opposite sign in your 7th house. How exciting is that? And as I did that, I saw the Lovers and the Star. Okay, well, clearly the new moon happening in your 7th house of one-on-one partnerships. Are you planting seeds for a partner? And this could mean business partner. This could mean friendship, one-on-one friendships, or it could literally mean a romantic partner. So let's see. Spirit, ancestors, archangels, and angels, please help me to channel the messages you want them to know for this new moon in Cancer. So Saturn is retrograde in your 1st house, which you might have been feeling like, what the fuck? A lot of contraction energy, but trust me when I say that when you go through these times of eliminating, of letting go of things that no longer serve you, you are going to see that you actually don't need much, that you actually don't need, because Capricorn, okay, so Capricorn, I mentioned in another pile that was, or another rising sign, that gets kind of a bad rap for being hardworking and money obsessed. But I only think it's because you have so much energy and passion for what you're doing. So when you can channel that into, your emotional body, right? Cancerian energy, your intuition, your ability to nurture yourself during maybe a difficult transit with Saturn, your ruler, going retrograde. And also you had all of those like crazy planets in your 1st house. Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter were there last year. I think you had this disillusion of self. You were going through some kind of ego death. And I see this very clearly with the cards that came out with the Judgment. I feel like you were down here a lot of 2020, and possibly even now. You were like, why am I in this dark hole? Why is this happening to me? Because the 1st house is I am. It's all about the self, right? And being a Cancer rising, this is happening in your 7th house of the other. And the other reflects back our shadow self. So a lot of this was you last year looking at your shadows, looking at the things about you that you might have suppressed. And when I say shadows, the light and the dark are important. And when we ignore the shadow, the dark elements of us that we feel are not worthy of being seen, they get reflected back, they get projected back into a partner. And then that partner helps us work with our shadow. But when you can really transmute that and have this like, whenever I see this card, I think of like, this awakening, this epiphany. This is the card of awakening. You can attract somebody who truly embodies the higher self, the higher aspects of Cancerian energy that you need to integrate, because every sign as well has a light and a dark, and the dark aspects of Cancer could be a little emotional, having no boundaries. My nose is itchy again. Could be emotionally insensitive. And the dark side of Capricorn is also being like, why is this taking so long? You know, and I hear that a lot from Capricorn risings, like, why is this happening to me? Like, why is this taking so long? Because Saturn being your ruler really helps you to identify the things that you need to let go of and put in the day-to-day work. And I don't mean to say work and like this is strenuous, but it's going to take Capricorn risings a little bit more time to fully understand who they are as a person. But when you do, you will get your person. You will get whatever you want, because the Nine of Pentacles is all about self-empowerment. I see this Nine of Pentacles as like the entrepreneur card, but in a love reading, or this isn't a love reading, but this is happening in your 7th house of partnership, that you truly understand what it is that fulfills you. You don't need anybody because you have integrated with yourself. You have become in union with yourself. You have a spiritual understanding of why everything had to happen in your life at this exact moment in order for you to have this awakening about yourself, about the fact that you are worthy, that you have everything that you need, and that you are a fucking powerful person, king or queen. Okay? And that, at that point, is when you can truly call in the person that is meant for you, that is in highest alignment with your timeline, and not from the shadow parts, but from the light and shadow parts, but from the highest vibration and the highest timeline for all good involved. Because we keep attracting the same person. We go into these karmic loops when we don't look at that shadow shit, when we don't look at what truly fulfills us as a person on our own. And it's so interesting because you hear it being said all the time, you will find love when you're not looking for it, but it's so true. And temperance is all about balance. It's all about a spiritual connection as well, because it's ruled by Sagittarius, and having this like awakening about yourself. So the new moon in Cancer is like this beautiful, fertile time to truly embody in yourself, like, what makes you feel good? What makes you feel powerful? And from that place is where you can attract this divine counterpart. Ooh, so exciting. Let me know. All right. Now we're on Aquarius rising, and this is happening in your 6th house of the mundane. And mundane sounds so boring, but it's very important in our lives because we incarnated as spiritual beings in this human form. So actually, what I love to think about it as, our 6th house is like our everyday human lives. And then we have to integrate that energy with the 12th house, which is all about our spiritual, like the realms in which we cannot see. So, ooh. Okay, I'm playing ocean music in the background to get into that Cancerian energy. Okay, so this new moon in Cancer being in your 6th house, and the 6th house is all about daily habits, daily health habits, whether it's your body health or your mental health. It's your everyday work, what you have to do for your work. It's not career because that's the 10th house. It's like what you literally have to get done for your work. It can also mean coworkers or even pets. So maybe some of you want to get a pet. Maybe some of you want to connect deeper with your coworkers. But Cancer is ruled by the moon, and it's all about rituals. So maybe you are calling in more rituals for your day-to-day life. Maybe you're going to get into more of a morning routine or a nighttime routine. And these activities are really going to help you with whatever you're doing with your life. Being an Aquarius rising, you are super galactic, you're different, you think about the future, you think about technology. And so maybe having a more heart-based, emotional-based ritual, maybe doing like some psychosomatic body work, maybe doing some dancing, some ecstatic dance, really getting into your emotional body, because 6th house could also mean your body. Okay, so spirit, angels, and archangels, ancestors, please help me to tap into the energies of Aquarius rising, and please let me know what you need them to know. Whoa, okay. Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay, exactly. So the Two of Pentacles is all about balance. It's all about, so normally when I get this card, I think about alignment, but also the fact that the butterfly showed up here, I'm seeing transformation. Something about your daily routines or about your health or your mental health, you are transforming, you are changing. So again, like I was saying, maybe you're changing your morning routine, your health habits, the way you exercise, maybe the food that you eat is going to be very pivotal during this time. Cancer rules the stomach, so maybe some of you are listening more to your gut and your gut health. And then we have the Hierophant here, and the Hierophant talks about something that is a little bit more established. Talks about being the teacher. It's very like, the Hierophant is always hard for me to talk, like speak into words, because it's something that I feel and I embody in myself. But it's all about the teacher, the priest. So again, I think you're taking your routines, I think you're taking your health and your body a lot more seriously during this time. And with the sun here, I think you're getting a little bit more vitality in your body. The sun card to me is all about happiness. Maybe you feel really happy in your life right now. And if you're not, then this new moon in Cancer is going to bring that for you. Again, the sixth house is always about your daily routines. So if you can be a little bit more serious, I consider this to be a very serious card. It's very like priest teacher energy. It's all about institutions. If you can be a little bit more balanced in your daily routines, being more serious about your daily routines, especially your mental health, and maybe because Saturn is retrograde, and Saturn is your classical ruler in your first house, I feel like maybe this is like affecting the way you see yourself. Your daily routines and habits will definitely bring in more clarity, bringing more happiness, bringing more vitality to you. Whew, that was hard to get out. Thank you so much, Aquarius risings. So now if you are a Pisces rising, this is happening in your fifth house of childhood, of joy, of play, of entertainment. So if you are a Pisces rising and maybe you've wanted to be a mother or a father, or if you wanted to have children, are you setting those intentions? Because the fifth house also talks about children. Maybe you want to nurture something, someone, maybe you want to be a mentor or a mentee, or even tapping into your inner child. What did your inner child love to do? How can you nurture your inner child? And you're really thinking about these topics at this time. Pisces risings are intuitive signs anyway, so I feel like tapping into your body as well, and maybe dancing and having fun, because the fifth house is the most fun house, it's ruled by Leo, is really going to help you. So spirit, angels and archangels, ancestors, please help me to tap into the energies of Pisces rising. What do they need to know at this time in the new moon? Yeah, I feel like you're maybe trying something new as well. Trying new things. So Jupiter is in retrograde in your first house. So you felt really maybe expansive, but in an inward way. You've been going inward and exploring your inner realms. Wow, interesting cards. Okay, so I got a lot for you as well. Some of the piles I noticed were getting more than others, and I feel like it's because maybe some of you are going through some harder times, and Spirit really wants me to translate these messages for you. So I feel like whatever is happening in your life, you've been feeling blocked. You've been feeling like, oh my God, what the fuck? Like, why can I not get the things that I want in life? Like, I've been doing a lot of healing, or I've been feeling just stuck, right? Like, I've been feeling sad or maybe depressed. And again, Jupiter is your first house ruler in classical astrology. Neptune is your modern ruler, and it's also in Pisces. So these are in your first house. Maybe you've been feeling foggy. The Two of Swords talks about not seeing clearly, not seeing the vision, right? And the Five of Cups is all about grief and sadness. So maybe you felt really lost and really foggy and you don't know where to go. Four of Swords is like going inward, tapping into your inner realms, understanding like, hey, Pisces rising, you might need to tap into more of that Virgo energy of creating boundaries, of saying no, so that you can fully come into maybe using a little bit more fire energy as well. I don't know why I'm tapping into that. Because you are so watery and expansive, and you literally are the ocean, and Neptune and Jupiter are in your first house, you can feel like you are in the ocean and you don't know where you're going, and you feel super foggy, you can't see, your feet are not on the ground. Do a lot of earthing. And again, I was tapping into this idea of dancing, of having fun, doing new things that really help you feel in this earthly plane. Oh, this is why I was tapping into the fire energy. Two of Wands is like, okay, when I can tap into the earth, when I can be more in my body, when I can have fun and laugh and realize that this is just a phase, this is just a phase of that I'm going through and that I'm moving through in this life. That's not forever. You'll have more clear vision of how to move forward, of how to go forward, of finding the clear pathway, which is, these energies are so different and they're both twos. So this one is all about not seeing clearly, blocked vision, and this is seeing clearly, like I'm going forward. And then we have the 10 of Cups, which is like the happiest card. It's all about fulfillment. It's all about family. It's all about having all of your cups fulfilled and more that you have to share with other people. And the fifth house, as I was saying, is the happiest house in the zodiac. It's family, but not just family, but children, and playing with your inner child and letting that inner child come through. You'll get through this, Pisces rising. I feel a little bit of sadness with your group, but you're going to move through this. And I feel like this new moon in Cancer in your fifth house is really going to help you ground more. And because you're already watery and this is a water new moon, maybe do the opposite and ground yourself in earth, get tapped more into the fire energy, and I feel like you'll have a little bit more understanding of where you are and where you need to go. All right, so now we have Aries. This is happening in your fourth house. Why can I not say that? So Aries, the fourth house is the home. It's the lowest point of our chart. So it's where we feel rooted. It's our family. It's our ancestors. So this new moon in Cancer, maybe you're healing something with your mother or the matriarchal line of your family. Maybe you're doing ancestral healing. Maybe you're discovering your roots and where you came from. Maybe you're moving homes or you want to buy a new home. These are all beautiful energies for a new moon in Cancer, because again, the new moon in Cancer is all about setting new intentions and placing our intentions with the idea that it will form as we go along, as we move through the different moon cycles and phases. But I feel like Aries risings, I mean, I'm an Aries sun, so I know this energy very well. I feel like when you put your mind to something, you can do it. And I think people misconstrue Aries as just acting without care for the world, you're the pioneer, the leader, and people think you're impulsive, but really Aries is the first sign. It's that spark. And I think that you have a lot more emotional depth to you because Cancer is in your fourth house, and you really feel rooted when you are with the people around you that make you feel nurtured and make you feel safe. Okay, spirit, ancestors, angels and archangels, please help me to tap into the energy of Aries rising. What do you want them to know about this new moon in Cancer? So all of these messages have been very positive, and I don't usually read like that. I read what I see. Okay. Wow. Alrighty. So we have the Eight of Wands, which talks about quickness, quick movement. So again, I was very much feeling, when Aries has an intention for something, they get after it. They don't necessarily wait, or they don't need that extra push, or they don't need to ask people for permission. They just do. And I feel that whatever you've been trying to set your intentions on in this fourth house, in areas of home, family, of maybe moving homes, or even in your physical body, or maybe some of you are waiting for information about, again, I was channeling like ancestral healing or like ancestral work. And I feel like you're going to get that download on this new moon in Cancer, because the Father of Swords is all about this intellectual, logical, masculine energy, but understanding the truth from that perspective. And maybe a lot of you have been waiting on or learning the Page of Pentacles, learning about your ancestry, learning about your lineage and where you came from, learning about your family roots, because when you learn that stuff, when you learn about where you came from, learning about your lineage, it gives you so much a better idea of who you are and why you are the way you are, and also the way your family acts. But I feel like you're going to get this in a download form. I don't know why. Maybe some of you are waiting for results of a 23andMe, or is that Ancestry? One of them is about Ancestry. Some of you are waiting for those results, or you're like researching something about your ancestors and you find something out that's like an aha moment, or you're going to connect with your ancestors. You're going to do one of those like spirit guide meditations where you meet your ancestors. Something about your ancestors you're going to learn about, or your ancestors are going to give you pivotal information for your growth. This is super exciting. And for some reason, I'm getting the maternal line, even though the Father of Swords came out here. But that's amazing. Let me know if you do. Taurus risings. This is happening in your third house of communication, of social media, technology, your community, your smaller community, and your siblings. So the new moon in Cancer, are you connecting more at an emotional level with your siblings? Do you have the intention to start something new on social media? Are you maybe contemplating opening up a TikTok, or are you contemplating on how you can connect with your audience more on Instagram? I'm getting this feeling that Taurus risings, because Uranus, you've been having Uranus in your first house square Saturn. And you've maybe been thinking about, in this past year, this past 6 months, how can I let go of previous identities I've had about myself so that I can move forward? Aquarius, Saturn in Aquarius, with a new kind of self concept I have about myself. I hope I'm translating this correctly. For some reason, I feel like you're all reinventing yourself. Uranus is all about reinvention and the future, and it's in Taurus in your first house. So I feel like you're reinventing yourself, and maybe that is affecting how you show up on social media or even in your community. So not everyone is active on social media. Not everyone wants to be Insta famous, but if this is just in your community or in the people around you, like your siblings or your little neighborhood, but I feel like you're setting an intention, or spirit wants me to say that, yes, do it. Was the roundabout way of saying you're on the right track, do it. But in a very Cancerian way, so in a very like empathetic way. And I feel, you have this ability to translate things in a very earthbound way because you're a Taurus rising. You have a way of doing things that people in this 3D realm can understand. Okay, so let me ask spirit, angels, archangels, and ancestors, please give me the messages you want Taurus risings to hear on this new moon in Cancer. Yes, I keep seeing yes, yes, yes in my head. So whatever you've been thinking about, please do it. Okay. Spirit. Oh, okay. All right. I was wondering when this card would show up, and it showed up for your group because I was definitely seeing it in my head. But you have the Devil card. And what I'm feeling about this is definitely what I was just talking about, of you reinventing yourself. I feel like this last 6 months, in particularly for Taurus risings, you've definitely been, because that's a very shocking energy to have in your first house. I have Uranus natally in my first house, and I find that I'm constantly reawakening to different things about myself, and maybe you're not used to that energy. So this transit in your first house, square to Saturn, now I can't do math, but it might be, well, this is in your third house in Cancer. I can't do math, but wherever Saturn in Aquarius is in your natal chart is also affecting that area of your life. But I feel like you've definitely been going through this like integration of who you used to be and to who you want to be, if that makes sense. Like you're leaving past ideas. No, wait. Here we go. You are integrating who you used to be, Saturn in Aquarius, to who you want to be, Uranus and Taurus. And you're trying to break free of that stagnant, fixed energies, because Taurus, I love you, but you're a fixed sign and you can be very fixed in the way you see yourself. And so this square energy is asking you to, be a little bit more open, be a little bit more, with this Cancer energy in your third house, being a little bit more, open, and tapping into more of that emotional realm of your intuition, because Taurus also is very earthbound, and the Devil is ruled by Capricorn, which is the opposite sign of Cancer in your ninth house. So maybe be open to different ideas about how you can show up on social media, different ideas of the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with too, because I feel like it's really going to expand you, because you have the 10 of Cups here, which is the ultimate fulfillment card. It is the happiness card. When I see this and the sun, it's like, it's happiness. It just is. It's like you have your cup filled and then 10 times that. So I feel this, for some reason, to connect with different people in your in your sphere. Like maybe if you've always been hanging out with the same people, maybe if you've always been following the same people on Instagram or TikTok or wherever, or if you've been hanging out with the same group of people, maybe to like expand your mind and expand, because the third house rules the mind, because it's really going to help you during this new moon in Cancer. It's a very fertile place. You could even be calling in like new connections through social media, Instagram and TikTok. Hey, that's how I meet all my friends these days. Okay, Taurus risings. Last but not least, we are on Gemini rising, and this is happening in your second house of your self-worth, money, and values. Okay, Gemini rising, how are you all doing? I love my Gemini rising. So, Cancer happening in your second house. Listen, the first and second house are all about ourself, our self-concepts, how we feel about yourself. And the second house is all about money, it's our value, our self-worth. So this is a beautiful, fertile time to really ask yourself questions like, okay, if the thing that you want is money, let's say, instead of asking yourself, how could I do more work or how can I work harder? Ask yourself, what are my limiting beliefs around money? What are my limiting beliefs around abundance? What are my beliefs around money in general? What was I taught by my parents? How do I value myself? Am I charging enough? Do I even love myself? These are all questions you should be asking around this new moon in Cancer, and it's a very fertile new moon. So there's just, the possibilities are endless. I would say, in my personal humble opinion, I would do a lot of self-love and self-worth during this new moon in Cancer, really tapping into how you nurture yourself. Again, manifestation is all about the yin, the receptive energy. It's not necessarily what you are doing, it's how you are receiving. So understanding this principle of give and receive. Okay, that's enough of my preachiness. Let's tap into your energy. So spirit, angels, archangels, ancestors, please help me to tap into the energies of Gemini risings. What do they need to know for this new moon in Cancer? You know, Gemini risings are normally in their head. It's ruled by Mercury, and you like to be chit-chatty and the social butterflies of the zodiac. So you know, doing inner work is not necessarily going to be comfortable for you, but this is really a chance for you to do that. Okay. Oh my God, this card keeps coming up for a lot of groups, the Four of Swords, which is all about going inward, which is all about taking a retreat, looking inward, checking your mindset, checking your beliefs, checking your limiting beliefs, and the way that you were raised. I just see here lambs, you know, they're very feminine, receptive energies. And lambs to me, like, for some reason, always remind me of Easter, and this lamb's third eye is open. So again, when you could really lean into the more Cancerian energies with this new moon in the dark moon and go inward, and I feel like you're going to have a lot of epiphanies. The Page of Swords, oh no, wait, this is the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight. So maybe you can get these epiphanies about your journey, about your self-worth, about what you need to do to get that bag, that coin. But for me, this is more about yourself, as within, so without. When you can really get in there in your belief systems and what you feel about yourself, you will have this mental clarity, because the swords talks about the mind. You are ruled by Mercury, again, your mind. The Three of Pentacles to me is all about teamwork, is all about collaboration. So maybe ask for help. This is also Pentacle energy, which is all about your earthly things like money and self-worth. Ask for help, ask a friend, ask somebody to support you, ask somebody what kind of books they read for self-work love, self-work worth work, self-love work. hang out with friends more. I feel like for some reason I'm getting this idea of like, don't do this on your own. Don't, yes, spend time on your own being reflective, but also like don't be afraid to ask for help, and you are the best at that because you're the most social sign. The Knight of Swords can also talk about a person, right? So someone coming in and maybe offering you some help, offering you some guidance, offering you some pentacles. Maybe somebody actually is going to offer you something of worth to you. So this is a beautiful new moon to set those intentions of activating self-love and worth. And that is how you will manifest your, it's everything is within. Manifestation is an inside job. So when you could do that for this new moon, being really, really nurturing and doing that work is going to, you're going to reap the rewards. So thank you everyone for watching. If you watched all of them or just my Gemini risings made it this far, thank you so much. I wish all of you health, wealth, success, and abundance. Thank you. Bye.